and welcome to today's episode of The Daily Blend. I'm your host, AC, and we are joined in studio today by Alex LaBrunerie, who is the CEO and president of LaBrunerie Financial. How are you, Alex?
Wonderful. Thank you. It's great to be here.
Well, it is good to have you back. So, all right, we're going to cover a lot of stuff today.
Yes.
So let's start with the Fed chair.
Yeah. So, there's a new Fed chair on Federal Reserve Bank chairman, and replacing Fed Chair Powell is Kevin Warsh, and he is got quite a job in front of him as he tries to decide whether to raise interest rates or cut interest rates and remain an independent institution as the president tries to control the Federal Reserve, or at least has tried previously.
Yeah. So why does the choice of who that person is matter so much to the markets and to our economy?
Because he can shape, or she can shape. We had a Janet Yellen was previously a chair, shape the economic data that markets look at. They set, most importantly, Fed fund rates, so the interest rates we pay on loans are very important. They can have what they call open market activity, which is buying bonds from our government. So that helps solve the deficit problem for the intermediate period of time. So they're a very powerful monetary institution, probably the most powerful one in the world.
Okay. So would a new Fed chair materially change policy?
Yes. This new chair is thinking of changing how the economy is measured. He's not a radical by any means. He just may have some different views than the orthodoxy of the previous several years since the great 2008 recession. So they can also mess things up. They've been blamed. The Fed has been blamed for the Great Depression. It's been blamed for the 1970s inflation. So they're the ones that sort of get blamed when things go wrong.
Yeah. So what would success look like for the next Fed chair for the next, let's say, 4 years?
Cooling inflation and a moderation of interest rates back to where people could buy homes again. The affordability crisis is everywhere, and inflation and interest rates have a big driver in that, AC. I think right now what we're seeing is a pop-up in inflation due to the Iran conflict, wrong country. It's going to affect gas prices. It's going to affect housing prices, and it's ominous because with that chart that we're showing, it shows it's 6% inflation in April. So by the time June, July, maybe it's gone down. Let's hope so.
Yeah, hopefully so. So speaking of gas prices,
yes,
we all see those. We're all filling up.
Yeah, and it's
summertime. And people are taking trips. So let's talk about something a little nicer. If you were taking a road trip, let's say you're going to do Route 66 because it's the anniversary.
It's the 100 years since the Route 66 started.
Yes.
100 years, 1926.
And how is that tied into economic development, Alex?
I think, it's hard to think of roads as high technology now, but maybe there's a pushed or forced metaphor on data centers and the build out of AI technology. It's something, build it and they will come principle, field of dreams. And so those visionaries that built these highways back in the 20s were really empowering the automotive age. Yep. And Americans love our cars, and we love our freedom to drive on these byways and highways. And right now in Columbia, we're expanding I-70, and so we're at it again, building more infrastructure.
Yes, very true.
That creates jobs too.
Yes, it does. So does Route 66, does the story of Route 66 tell us something bigger about the American economy?
I think it shows us what we can do right. When we work together, it was a political and private enterprise. It took a lot of legal work to get that done. It took government funding and private investment. And big businesses benefited, small independent businesses benefited, thinking about, and it's still there. Yeah. We can drive on it now. and it gave way to the great interstates later, but it built our country in that first part of the mid-century.
Yeah. Do you think that America's economic rise in the 20th century would have looked different without projects like Route 66?
Absolutely. I think that the car culture, again, back to freedom, that you can get on a road and drive to another city and start a new life, is just what we believe in as Americans. Mm-hmm. Self-determination.
Yeah. So, okay, what kind of lessons can policymakers now take from? Work
together. I mean, the infrastructure that's building I-70 came through Joe Biden's Highway Act, and I think it's bipartisan, and I think that's how we get great things done.
Yeah, that's true. So, okay, 100 years later, because it's the 100-year anniversary of Route 66, what does it symbolize economically for America today?
That that we're not a declining power, that we are still have another, we got to be thinking about the next 100 years, though. And I think a lot of us probably think we're too short term. Mm-hmm. And 100 years is just really the scope of from newborn to grandparent, really.
Yeah.
It's 3 generations. So let's build some good things for our grandkids.
Yes, very much so. So, because if Route 66 represented American expansion in the 20th century, what would be today's equivalent?
I hope it's these broad, bold things like, I don't want to harp on how boring a data center is and how controversial they might be, but the knowledge economy, the next 100 years will be knowledge economy, better cures for cancer, better laws, better justice.
Yeah, we hope so. Well, hopefully people can get out.
Yes, enjoy it.
Enjoy it. If you haven't been on Route 66, drive it. I mean, gosh, you can go clear out to Santa Monica where it ends.
Out to California.
Out to California where it ends. Sounds like a good place to visit in the summer. Alex, thank you so much for being here.
Have a great summer.